Meaning, I would actually emphasize that I didn't think most of the book would appeal to them, but that there was one chapter or 5 pages that I think might actually apply to what they're doing and be very relevant. Reading 5 pages, everyone has enough time for 5 pages. Here's another 300-page book. I get about 30 books a week minimum now with blurb and promotional requests. It doesn't work. All right, so here is the basic process that I use to then capitalize on a few early contacts to create a phenomenon. Selling around the product. All these are related to selling around the product, which I'll explain. So PPC, pay-per-click, just an easy way to remember my alternative to that, which is phenomenized, polarized, and communitized. It sounds a little daunting, I know. But, so the first is phenomenized. What that means is nobody cares about your book. Nobody cares about your product. What they care about are the ideas. It has to be bigger than your book. So in my particular case, I looked at a number of converging trends. So mobile workforce, people certainly in my generation and other generations realizing that the retirement-based model of career planning is fundamentally flawed in many respects. Certainly in the last year, people have realized that the mathematics is not or are not dependable. So I wanted to create a phenomenon. Time management wouldn't cut it. Career planning wouldn't cut it. So I started using this term, lifestyle design. And I didn't pursue trademark infringement. I didn't go after people. I wanted them to use it. I wanted it to be the Xerox, the Kleenex. I wanted it to be the default term for what I was talking about. And as a result, I own that term. If you search for that on Google, I own it. But to make it media-worthy, it had to be a trend. I'm sure a lot of you know this. So one person, uninteresting. 2 people, kind of interesting. 3 people, that's a trend. Especially if one's in New York, one's in Chicago, one's in San Francisco, let's say. So that was number 1, creating a phenomenon. And became a phenomenon. The second is polarizing people. You should prefer to have a few people that absolutely love your product than to have everyone be mildly interested or disinterested in your product. You want those early evangelists. And if you want people to love your product, you're going to have people who hate your product, especially online. Not everyone was interested in the book. That was fine with me. So 2 years before the book came out, I did an experiment on myself. So from Geek to Free, how I gained 34 pounds of muscle in 4 weeks. So I did an experiment. I do a lot of experiments myself. And I gained 34 pounds of muscle in 4 weeks. I had a professional photographer capture all the before and afters from different angles. I had my measurements taken at San Jose State University by a PhD in physiology. And then I just held on to that data. I just held on to it and said, this will be very useful someday. And when my book launched, I threw it up. This was my first post to ever hit the big homepage. And the next day, I was on the Wired.com blog, Epicenter, Silicon Valley Superman. It went everywhere. And you can see here, there's 614 comments. To this day, there are still people who love it and people who hate it. So that is an example of selling around the product. All you care about, in this case, is a link to Amazon or back to your blog. It does not matter what the subject matter is of the article that features you. All right. Below, communitize. So what do you do once you polarize? You have haters and you have supporters. Well, you can't really mobilize the haters too much for you, so you have to mobilize your supporters. I knew that I was not going to do the 4-hour work week for the Christian convict soul or the single mother paratrooper soul or whatever. I knew I wasn't going to do that, which is a fine model, but I knew it wasn't. I didn't have it in me. So I encouraged all of my readers to go to ning.com, ning.com, create their own social networks. I gave them step-by-step process in a blog post to use 4HWW, which is not that catchy to say, but it's just a lot easier to type than the 4-hour work week. And there are at least 20 communities on ning.com that have been developed around the 4-hour work week. So you can see here, this is 4-hour work week LinkedIn entrepreneur success coaches. There are 427, 430 people in that group. There's several thousand people in different groups on Facebook. And that's my army. You need an army to start a movement. Don't be interested in selling a product. You need a movement of some type. So here are 3 tipping points related to 3 different people. and they're sequential, and they're very different. So the first is indirect tipping point, direct, and then made it tipping point. The first 43 folders is one of the most popular productivity blogs on the planet. And of course, one of my goals then was to be featured at 43 folders. The problem is, we're the man who runs the site. This is a very, very, very busy guy. And you get pitches all day long. It's not going to work. It's just not going to work. So accidentally, I realized that by being on Brian Overkirk's blog, who is a thought leader but has less traffic, it gave Merlin Man the ability to link. So that was an implicit endorsement. But he wasn't taking as much of a risk with his social capital as he would if he were to write an entire post on me. So then I realized it's a lot easier to get featured on A-list blogs if you know who those A-list bloggers read, and you get featured on the B-list, C-list blogs that those people read. There's just less competition. So Brian Overkirk was mostly accidental, great guy. I borrowed many things from him. So this was an indirect feature that did more than most of the mainstream television features I had. What this did then is it gave me a certain presence. And my goal was not to have a scattered, distributed presence. My goal for the 18 to 35-year-old tech males was to be absolutely unavoidable for about a week, to set the second week in motion. So I knew the top 10 blogs or so. I wanted to be on every single one of those in the same 48-hour period. And what ended up happening is people were like, good God, who the hell is this guy? I can't get away from him. And that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted them to have to click on the link, just to satisfy their curiosity. The second post here is the first direct mention that really had a huge impact. So today's book, 4-Hour Workweek, Scobalizer, is written by Robert Scoble, who's with Microsoft, well-known technology blogger. Most people outside of tech have no idea who Robert Scoble is. Put this in perspective. I'm traveling up to Atlanta. I'm taking this book with me. That's pretty much it. I mean, this is the whole post. And I was on the Today Show, interviewed by Matt Lauer, debating Donnie Bush in the best hour. It's not as good as it gets from morning television. And it took the book to 12 on Amazon for about 3 hours. So Amazon rankings top it on an hourly basis. From this post, Robert Scoble, to his very devout but limited tech crowd, I went to number 3 on Amazon and stayed there for a full day. Now, does that mean that Robert Scoble is important in the Today Show? No. You need the Today Show. Why do you need the Today Show? Right now, because buyers at most of the book chains do not know who Robert Scoble is. So what you need to create is self-fulfilling prophecy. If they know you're going to be on the Today Show, they stock more books. They stock more books, they get better placement. They get better placement, they sell more books. Is it because of the Today Show? Maybe, maybe not. All right. So last is meta. All that means is that I wanted to then make the launch newsworthy. So not only is the product newsworthy, but the buzz of the launch itself is newsworthy. So this is Behind the Meme, the 4-Hour Workweek on micro-persuasion. Steve Rubel, who's at Edelman PR, writes this blog. Very influential, very good post also. So then the launch itself became the interesting thing. And this, along with several other features, is what ultimately led to a cover story in the New York Times style section. So this is a sequence. The sequence of media was also very, very well, I'm not going to say that, but very meticulously planned. So I went from online to daily print to television to national radio, which would be my next objective there. I was on Marketplace. And then long form print. And ended up being in Men's Journal, one of the cover stories. Thank you, Larry. Larry the writer, who did a great job on the pieces here. And that was the plan. Now, could I have predicted all of that? No, but I did my best to